Hi all, welcome to another Chess24 Banter Blitz. Okay, let's take it from the top. The first challenge, Sebi, 1996. I'll just mute over here. Let's start with D4 today. I hope the sound and visuals okay. Play modestly with E3, blocking in my bishop. I played this system recently myself. It's very nice for black. I played it with bishop D6. Okay, very nice. So, what's happening here exactly? It's a good question. What is happening here? Knight D5. Is that in my favour or not? If I play this, he's got sort of pawn majority on the queen side. If I do this, would he take? Because I'm thinking G3 and King G2 and Rook H1. But if he doesn't, I'm thinking Knight G5. I'm just trying to use my pawn wedge on E5 here quite aggressively, basically. So that's a bit of a gambit. G3, King G2, Rook H1. You know, his pawn's on D5 as well, so this diagonal is less fatal, I think, than usual. If my king's on G2 with that plan. So I'm thinking bishop takes. Okay, it's not happening like that. It's released a bit of the tension. I'm thinking Knight G5 will be good. Probably not a great gift in this position, but Knight G5 looks sensible. I like the central tension release. It means I don't have to worry too much about D4. See my challenges, by the way. Just make sure they're all from premium members and stuff. They are cool. So I'm going to play this plan King G2 and Rook H1. So I've made it a kind of gambit, aggressive gambit. It's offering this H4 here, but I think it's more justified than usual because I've got that central pawn wedge and the diagonals blocked here. So let's see. So Rook H1, and I'm thinking I could even sacrifice the bishop on H6 if there's H6. If there's G6, well, I can install the queen with Queen D2 to H6. So I think this is going to be good fun. I hope it's going to be good fun anyway. So Rook H1 coming up. What was it they said about Tau? You just need one road. Tau needs one road to the king, and it's usually checkmate after that, or something to that effect anyway. So Rook H1. Let's see what happens here. In fact, on H6, you know, takes. I've got Queen H1 then. So I think this is all good fun. All good fun. Queen H1. If there's Bishop G4, King, you know, Bishop F3, King F3, I don't think that matters. If I have Queen H1 here coming up, I don't think this matters. I think I might want to just go for this. I think with Knight G5 happening as well, I can also swing the other rook to H1 after. It's quite aggressive. If there's any F6, Queen G6, and then Rook H1, the other one to H1. So if you can imagine Bishop H6, Queen H6, F6, well, that's Queen H7, mate. If F5, there's Queen G6, King H8, Rook H1, mate. This looks pretty dangerous, this position, I would say. Let's imagine Bishop F5. Well, let's just take Bishop F5. There's a few things that black kind of, I mean, from the opening there was that pawn wedge. I was wondering if that pawn wedge was going to be dangerous. It looks pretty fatal here, I would say. Let's have a bit of coffee. So it was a kind of poison pawn I offered earlier when I played that h4. Okay, I think this is just too dangerous for black to defend. I've got 4 attacking pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4. A 5th one is controlling potential exit squares of the king as well. It's almost in the vicinity of the attack. So there's like 5 attacking pieces, spectator piece, spectator piece, spectator piece, spectator piece, spectator piece, 5 spectator pieces. Alright, thanks for the game, Sebi. Phenomenon. I want to try aggressive gambits today. This is something I use in bullet with some effect. Not accepted. Alright. I'll go with this plan. My plan here is, especially with c3, most often players will not play c4 after, but it's a big danger if they do. If I ever want to play f6, I weaken the diagonal. c4 actually becomes logical even if c3 is being played. So I'm going to risk that c4 is not being played here, but it is probably a good move to try and weaken this diagonal. Now if I get along with this plan without c4, I'm looking forward to flooding the centre with e5, e4, which I've used a number of times with great effect. That does quite a few things. It opens up the f file, it opens up this diagonal. Coordination point is f2. So I play e5, if it takes e4. It's very, very dangerous for white usually this position because of f2. If you look at the rook on e1, it's away from f2. So this diagonal opens up. Queen b6 is a natural point to hit f2. This is a natural point to hit f2. We have a coordination point on f2 here. With the fianchettoed bishop, if white ever plays knight d4, this pawn's less prone to a frontal attack. And there's also queen b6, probably winning a pawn straight off the bat there on knight d4, knight takes. Queen b6, with f2 again behind that as well. But already here, with d4 and the hanging piece here, it looks as though I'm winning a pawn. f2 already beneath that, maybe with bishop d4, bishop e3. Even with the knight on f7, this means that queen d5 is not check. So let's imagine bishop d4, bishop e3. Maybe bishop e6 in preparation for something else. Or there's b2 as well. b2 as well. I think I can safely take this. There's also the e5 square, which I've just won. It's not just taking the pawn, it's the squares that you're kind of winning. So I've got knight e5 as well. But first, what to do about this bishop? Okay. I think I want to just... to play it safe, probably. I have to just take that, I think. Protect this, then knight e5. So bishop e6, knight e5, rook f7, doubling the rooks on the f file seems good. But first I'll protect d5. Sometimes there's a pin on this diagonal, it's not happening here, and you've got to watch out for knight e4s, but that's usually when this pawn's pinned like that. So I'm looking forward to knight e5, rook f7, rook a f8. If I have an infiltration like to f1 or something, the forcing moves would need to be considered as well, like rook takes f1 all the time, especially if my rooks were doubled. Now here's different. I've got a pass pawn here on e4. I can give him control of the e5 square. Okay, let's transition this instead to this. So I've got the pass pawn, maybe the c file here, using the c file. So something like rook c2, double the rooks. Maybe h5, h4 after that. If there's knight e2, maybe h3 then. If there's ever a form pawn here, that's with tempo to get a form pawn on h3. That looks very, very dangerous. The rooks on the 7th look dangerous. There's no bishop d3, or is there? There's that sort of pin. It's a bit annoying. Maybe I can start ball rolling with this instead. The only danger is maybe f4. I'll take away f4 in advance. Here, okay, rook g3, g4, h3. If it takes h4 maybe. Okay, that's going to be a problem, rook g3. Or is it? Anytime h3, I think there's knight f5 there. Knight f5, rook c3, I'll just take a knight takes d4. So let's imagine this rook g3, g4, h3, knight f5. Okay, all this, okay, knight G coming to G3 here. I'll rule out G3 as well with taking, actually. As long as the knight's not coming to F4. I've also got knight F5 in this position. If rook H3, G3, if rook C3, maybe I just take and take on D4. Yeah, knight F5 looks good. Taking a centre pawn here. What I can do is flick in this rook C1. If I want to just take this pawn without any hassle of losing a pawn back, knight E2, knight H4. Any G3, there's knight F3. Where's this knight going? I don't want it going to D6. Is it going to A3? Have that C file. Other plan is just G4, G3, allow white to defend with rook D1. There's no entry point at the moment on C2. If I take on D4, HG. Well, it's all pretty good. This restricts the bishop, so there's a positional basis for this one anyway to restrict that bishop. Tying white down to D4, the knight's kind of stumbling around here. Oh, thanks for the game, Fenneman. Right, Disto. Is Disto ready? Is he? So I was a bit late today, by the way. Alright, we'll go on to the next challenge. Oh no, he's around. And I've just played the wrong thing I didn't want to play. Great. I didn't want to play the system. Fine. I had another thing in mind today. Against the English opening. Doesn't matter. No. Too late. If knight E2, F3. I think I'm going to play knight D4 at this rate. Or bishop G4. This discourages H5 as well. He might be threatening F3. Stops castling queenside. If I can get my opponent to take, sometimes that's given me a little bit of something I didn't have. Helps the queen control a few squares. Maybe queen G2's dangerous later. I think I'll shut down that file. Try and be on the safe side. Can I get in knight D4? Is that any good? Knight D4. I'll take knight D4. There's queen C3. C5 takes en passant. No, I'm going to be losing on G7 if I'm not careful. I'll play it with knight E5 instead. Gives me a bit more chance to do something about this form pawn, this G7 marker. So D4, knight takes F3. Bishop takes, can't castle queenside. Maybe there's a threat of maybe even queen G1 and knight F3 to take the queens off at some point. Or just queen G2. Right, if I weaken these light squares, I don't know, queen B5 hits B2 and D3 here. F3 squishes the knight a bit. Yeah, queen B5 looks interesting. D4, queen B2. Queen's coming over there. Knight d3. Well, there's rook f6, queen g5, rook g6, queen e7. If I've got rook f6 to g6, let's have a look at this again. Queen b5, queen h5, rook f6, rook, queen g5, rook g6. That might be good. Because I'll be covering that g7. If I can cover g7. Okay, let's imagine d4 here instead. Knight d3. Well, that's going to happen anyway. Queen h5, knight d3. Then I play rook f6 after. Queen g5, rook g6. I'm hoping the checks run out. I hope there's no lethal check there. So I'm hoping queen g5, rook g6, holding g7, so it doesn't matter about queen e7. Let's get this back. So I'm threatening queen d3 now. Alright, I've got this check. Maybe with f3 to restrict the knights. Oh, there's queen e3. Alright, can I open this c file? Try and expose the king here. Some icy winds, as Bronstein says in his Sorcerer's Apprentice book. He talks about icy winds heading to the opponent's kings. Some icy winds. Are they icy enough? Or not? Maybe not. I can play for f3 as well. There's always queen e3. On queen e3, knight c4 would win the exchange. And my back row's weaker now, so it's a bit complicated. What if I just taken queen c3? If queen c2, knight d3. If I played f3 first, if queen e3, I would have taken f2. I want to play knight d3 for queen c1. Maybe I'll just take it in g4. This ending looks good. What's the knight doing? Rook f4, try and win that pawn. How does the king hold the pawn? Knight's holding g4, there's no rook h4, this knight's stranded. Try and win this pawn. Okay, not so easy. Rook f7. Not so easy. Get my king to f6. Never so easy, is it? What about rook c7? Take that far. The knight's still stranded on g1 here. Yeah, it's quite a price to pay. Hold g7. Let's take this form pawn out. Maybe not like that. I'll carefully take this form pawn out. That will give me a passed pawn if I take on f2 actually. Just take on f2 to get a passed pawn here. Get back here. There's f2. There's a blockade there. f2. We always sack the knight. There's this one. Right, thanks for the game, Aldisto. Johan. Okay, so we're playing Gruenfeld. I'll play with h4 because I don't know any Gruenfeld theory. So this is a kind of trendy thing to wind up Gruenfeld opponents. h4. It also suits my style, coincidentally, of some sort of h-pawn attack. And if Simon Williams has played it, then it suits me usually. So ticks all the boxes. So h5 coming up. Can I get away with this? So h6 or hg. I don't really want to close things up. The fawn pawn could be useful. There's bishop c4 for queen b3. Instead of closing things up, I'll let him take. I'm thinking queen b3 here. There's a neglect of b7 slightly. Is he going to castle? The exchange set wouldn't be bad if he castled. I think that would be fun anyway. I'm threatening bishop f7 and knight g5 right now to win that bishop. Knight g5 check and win this bishop. Right, can I play queen b3? So I want b7 and f7, if that's any significance. What about knight g5? If he castles, would he play e6? That hits the knight. Knight g5, saying e6. Maybe it's better queen. Am I taking too much risk if I took here? Oh, that was a bit dumb, wasn't it? I'm not sure I'm getting anything out of this. I'm just going to get a grovelly position out of this. Knight g5 for f3 at least. So then rook takes h5. So knight g5 for f3. My king in the center. I'm wondering if he's just going to blow my center. Maybe queen d3 here. Then knight g5 threatens mate. If bishop f5, maybe e4, but then this rook, he just takes on d4. Yeah. Can I do this? If queen a5, king f1, that would also give me knight g5 as soon as he does queen a5. Do I want to play rook? Do I want to play rook d1? He's got rook e8 for e4, unfortunately. Oh, rook e8 for e4. I don't know what to do against rook e8. I need to work that out. Rook e8. work this out. E4 at minimum. Try and get the queens off here. Grovel. I'll just blunder the piece. Great. That's great to be a piece down. Great fun. Hopefully I get some H-file stuff. Ever the optimist here. There's a forced mate on rook c2 with rook check check. It's forced mate. Let's set a trap. E6, bishop f6, ef. King e6, h4, king e7, h3, king e8. Well, this way, I win a2 rather than that being check if I go that way. There's always rook b1 if I, yeah, I'll go this way. Ten seconds to finish me off. Uh-oh. What's a good move here in the circumstance? Let's check. I had to try and survive. I know. He busted me. He busted me. Okay. I just tried to find some swindle resources. Okay. Or yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, well played. Well played. I'm going to try and create some complications. It's totally winning for the opponent there. Oh, the bishop's hanging. Great. If knight g5, h3, okay, I'm going to play rook f3 here for knight e5. Does he play ed out of interest? And if I play knight e5 here, he's got bishop e6. Actually takes. I'm wondering rook f5. Okay, hang on. This takes bishop c6. Oh, he's got this knight e6 just in time. Knight e6. What if I just played just queen d5? There's bishop c4. Knight d5. There's bishop c4. This isn't that pleasant. I got to do something. I don't know what. b6. Start the ball running with b6. Queen e3 has knight f5. Okay, this is a weird one. Trying to gain a key tempo on the queen. Knight f5 could be handy. Knight e5 could be handy. Right, gain a key tempo on the queen, knight f5 and queen g5, or knight e5, so there's no discovered check at the moment. You can threaten mate, so I can take that knight. He takes on e5. I can play knight f5 instead. He takes queen g5. I avoid the structural damage. Knight f5, bishop, knight e6, bishop e6. Let's see this. So I'm threatening queen g5. So knight e6, bishop e6, d takes. Okay, let's go with this. Play for bishop b7 or bishop b7, rook d8. He's got this e8 control. There's also, I connect the rooks anyway for maybe rook f6 to g6. Without defensive knight, this looks okay. I should consider other things there. There's bishop a6 here if he plays queen c7. Bishop a6 anyway weakens f2 if he moves the rook. Okay, let's imagine bishop a6. He moves the rook, rook f6. If there's a check, king h7. I'm looking forward to rook g6 there. No, I'm covering e8. He's got queen e6 check, king h7 though. I don't think that's such a big deal. I'll have things like knight h4 to f3, or maybe even a rook sack on f2. So I think the ball starts rolling with bishop a6. Knight h4. Oh yeah, I think bishop a6. This one for rook g6. Okay, I'll double because I want f7. I mean f2. Maybe there's already knight e3 here. If takes queen e3 in the back row mates. He's protecting g2 though. I can take this pawn for a start though. Might be dangerous and then go back tactics. So he's protecting g2, that's the key point. Maybe I've got knight c4, he's got this check. No, he hasn't got the check. His queen's going way away from his king. I've got bishop c8 to h3, I've got bishop c4 even. That knight I leave on a3 I think. Just go for bishop h3, I don't want to swap off that silly knight. So bishop h3 looks dangerous. Right. He's going to protect f2 from afar. Knight f5 to e3 then gives queen f1 after. And we've got rook f1 in the meantime there. Knight f5, rook f1. That anyway. And it's queen g5. Is anything better than knight f5? Anyway. Maybe there's rook f6, queen b8. Or queen d8 if I want to hold things together for the moment. Don't tell me there's g4, maybe knight d6. Oh, crikey. And bishop e6 just to get things off the back row. Or he's really going to win a piece here. Oh, he's winning a piece here. Okay, knight d6 then, trying to hold the light squares and hold my pieces. Is he taking here? Bishop e2 plan for queen f1. This has gone well. Oh, great. Okay, none of my attack worked. Well done, well done. Okay, I get a lost position from that. I thought it was over for white actually earlier. I really thought there were too many threats to handle there. Okay, yeah, you guys are playing well today. I I'm only scavenging on the clock at the moment. These couple of last games. Okay. Not pretty. Okay. That was clever though. You know, B6 protecting F2 from B6. There was a lot of clever defensive resources there, I thought. Yeah, I was hoping for a nice knockout in that game. I really was. Okay, anyway. I'll take that. Did I miss it? I'm just thinking if I missed anything. Because the queen was so far away. Okay. I'm a bit surprised actually. Okay, anyway. Alright, so knight f6 and d6. Okay, if white castles, knight g4 and queen h4. I don't think it matters about the double pawns. Oh, king f7. So takes queen c2, king f7. There seem to be pins in various ways here. Okay, let's just crikey, release some of this tension somehow. Right, at least I haven't got the double pawns. I thought I was going to get double pawns and stuff. It seems to be a pawn up. It's double pawns though. I'm going to put a knight on c5. If they b6 and put a knight on c5. I might lose f4. That position looks fairly pleasant. Or just a knight on e5 actually. So king f3 does knight e5. Maybe knight e5. Saves the pawn for a moment. I'll play b6. Let's try and lock down on the light squares. That bishop locked in by its own pawns. Maybe a4, a3, rook a4 plan on c4 here. Get the king and dart square away from the bishop. g7 looks okay. Okay, so a4, a3. These are a mating net here. I can double the knight d3 for rook takes e1 here at this point. I've had three moves, 1, 2, 3. But there's also some sort of mating net brewing, it seems. Okay, for the moment I'll go with this a3 as well. Alright, I'll double then. Let's see, so double G5 after that, takes. Okay, I don't know. I can't see a mate. Yeah, I can't see a mate. Wait. If I double here, G5, takes, rook F5 is mating. So I need to double there to make G5 dangerous. He has protected F5 square. Doesn't matter. G5 takes, check, and mating. Yeah, I think G5. What about if I try and nudge G5 with the king? King F5. Is that king not getting mated? I mean, seriously, it's not getting mated ever, is it? Am I winning material or anything? Nope, the king's not getting mated. In fact, I've just lost the pawn back. Great. I think there's a mating net here. Takes rook e8, threatens rook e5. That looks good enough to me. Because if rook e3, rook e5 takes, that looks like king e6 is an escape square. Oh man, oh, it's too hard. Chess is too hard. He's got e4 as well. Okay, great. Jeez. Okay, anyway, yeah. Typical. Delay that pawn for a moment. Try and win this one. He's put his king in front of the pawn. B5, D7. Completely look. My shame level's gone up another 20%. I'm at 80% shame level. I can't take it anymore. I can't. I've got the bunny here. So. I'm a bunny. I'm a bunny. The shame level's gone up above 80% now. The last 3 games. I'm sorry. I can only apologise. I really thought it was good. You guys are so resourceful. You're learning too much. You're learning too much. Too much resilience nowadays. Can't. I can only try and take you down on the clock, you guys, at the moment. It's the story of my. Ever since I started having porridge, I've been a clock crusher. I'm afraid. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. All right. Okay. This feels like some sort of no. It's usually with 92. I was going to say theory, but it's not. It's usually with 92 from the comp of Kasparov World Championship matches. This is just, I don't know, weird territory. Please take the exchange. I need to be punished for the previous games. Take the exchange. I need some attacking opportunity here on the dark squares. Please take the exchange. I'm sorry. Look, I can only apologise, right? Look, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I can sorry. I can only say sorry. Okay. You all play really well today. You play really well. Jeez. Oh, good. Okay. Anyway, but back on track. Okay. Okay, so c4, if I castle f4, f5. Is that a plan? Is that a plan even? c4, I castle f4. Maybe maybe c4 might be a better idea here, or not, or maybe just taking and then just give up the center here, or d6 even, e5, f5. I'll go with d6. Try and shut down the opponent's pieces with d6. Okay. Alright, I think he's let me off a little bit of a hook, I suspect, because shutting down the bishop a bit. I've got bishop f3 here, f6. This is no good, is it? This is no good as usual. This position as usual. Alright, fine. Rook a1 takes h4, h5 plan. Okay. My center's going to be destroyed. I'm just hoping to chip away at his king pawns here. I've got the bishop pair. But, okay, h5 looks a little bit as if it should cause a problem. In my dreams, it should cause a problem. h5 should cause a problem. Yeah, okay. Should it? Does it? I'm hoping it does anyway. Okay, bishop g5, bishop g4, that sort of thing. Or bishop e4. Look, I get abused all the time on YouTube. I had a troll just yesterday still saying he's never going to forgive me for winning on time against Chess Explained in a 3-minute game. Yeah, just yesterday I get abused all the time for winning on time. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm yeah. You know, but you know, 3-minute without increment. I don't know. Because I play a lot of bullet chess. I think it changes you culturally. If you play bullet chess, it does change you culturally to think about the clock more as part of the position. You know. Sometimes maybe. Okay, so queen h4 looks dangerous. Anyway, I think that pin What about rook e6? Rook e6 looks good here. Okay. Well, there's rook. That might be actually rook takes g6 here. That looks good. And then there's queen h4. I might actually win a game here on position. Okay, I know this is a time to celebrate. I might actually win on position. I know it's a miracle. This could happen. Miracles sometimes happen. Okay. I can throw in bishop d5. Surely, is black defending this now as well? Bishop d5 and queen h4. Is this not any good? Is this not any good? Really? It takes the rook or something. I'm just going to be a rook down. Bishop d5, king h7, and he's taking the rook. No. Okay, I can take the queen. There must be a solution here. His queen's attack, my queen's attack. There must be a tactical knockout blow here. I just got 1 minute 40 to think about it. There must be something. I'd go with a check and queen h4 maybe, because I'm hitting the queen, I'm hitting the knight. So if he takes the rook, maybe I just take the queen and then take the knight. He takes this rook. I could end up losing both rooks. Yeah. There's a check there. No, it's not. Rook takes d6. There's a check on e5. Do I worry about that? I'm going to take out g7 first. Oh, let's just do this. If there's bishop f6 double check on king takes, I use the double check, saving resource. Not saving resource, whatever, I don't know. There's bishop e4 now. Yes, I might actually be winning a game on the position. It's a miracle. It looks like a miracle is about to occur. Okay, king h6, queen g5, king h7, bishop e4. Bishop e4 looks killing. I have avoided recently hyperbullet on some other sites and ultra bullet, though. I'm not getting into that. I think that's even worse, this cultural deterioration of modern society, going to faster and faster time limits, not being able to appreciate chess in all its glory of technical details, and just trying to win on time all the time. I do try and avoid anything less than bullet generally. So yeah, I can see it's an evil path, which the improving players should try and avoid playing bullet chess and stuff. It's an evil path to go on. And that sort of that lack of cultural value can go into, you know, the longer time controls. But I mean, I think 3 minutes fair game without increment. You know, it's that cross between bullet and 5 minute, the 3 minute time control. Anyway, okay. What's going on here? He's not accepting my sacrifices. This guy is very cautious. Why isn't he accepting the sacrifices? The knight, etc. I can't go queen h5. Oh, shame. Okay, so bishop e3 for bishop b6, maybe. Or h5. HG. There's knight f6 for bishop e6. King's in the center. It looks like fun, so I'll play it. Is he really going to take that one? Because I might have bishop f7 after with a bit of compensation. You never know. So fg, knight g5. I would have... I'm sure I've got compensation here. Surely. Bishop f7, queen h5, queen h5, knight h7, that sort of thing. I wanted my queen on h5 anyway. I don't want his king's castle, that's another thing. Is queen h5 possible here? It gives me f4 to think, or it gives him f4 to think about because that knight's pinned. Not forget knight h7, that's no big deal, the knights are holding each other. But f4 might be a big deal. I'm going to take like this. Is there any advantage taking with the h-pawn? Let's have a quick look at this. Take the h-pawn? Or the f-pawn? No, that keeps my threat on the e5 if I take the h-pawn. That gives me f5 as well. I might need some more attacking pieces, you never know. Rook ad1. He might have knight g5. Bishop f5 stops knight g5. There's bishop g6. It lets him castle. Let him have knight g5. He's also got knight f4. No, he hasn't got knight f4. Take on f7. Okay, so rook ad1, knight g5. Maybe just fg. I'm looking forward to e5 there, am I? Alright, bring this rook into the game. I can rook d3 to h3 here. There's knight f4. Maybe rook f1 or bishop f5. Definitely knight f4 is a cool idea. I don't want to drop e4 either. g3 looks silly, although it does mean maybe king f2 and rook h1 is that diagonal. Alright, something. Pin the knight. I want to play rook d3 to h3. Might be threatening bishop g6, queen g6, rook h3, or with check anyway. On rook d3, bishop g6 is threatened. So I've kind of pinned the knight because of queen h7, so it's kind of pinning to h7. Okay, try and get the troops in. Rook h3. He's got rook f5 for knight f4. Crikey. Oh, that looks killing. Let's imagine queen h6, knight d3, f6, queen d7. Maybe there's rook e7 there, mating on g7 or winning the queen. There's queen b6. Doesn't help g7 just yet. Queen d7, rook e7. Am I just several pieces down after that? Great. Threatening rook g7. Get one piece back. Nope, rook f7. Don't even get one piece back. Perpetual, if he doesn't want to give one piece back. Threatening rook g7, rook b7. Oh well, yeah, wasn't particularly convincing. I was only 3 pieces down. Look, it could have been worse. It could have been 4 pieces down. Yeah, I was only 3 pieces down in the end. Sorry. Bit of a punchline, Christmas cracker punchline. Rook g7. I'm sorry. Okay. Look, I know the shame of it. I'm the most shameful streamer going on the site. Can I just say that now? So you've got no expectations of any positional games, no endgame knowledge. I just want to put it on the table. Okay, I just play for fun. I'm a club player. Yeah, I'm just a club player, right? I like my hack attacks. You got it. That's all I am. That's right. Don't expect, endgame knowledge. We're not going to reach 8 games. Usually we're not going to reach 8 games. Like how PhD people do a scope. I'm telling you my scope, all right? I'm going to put it on the table. I do not cover boring positional games. I do not cover end games. My specialism is hack attacks, which are probably unsound a lot of the time. All right? I hope we have that clear. Fine. We can move on now. It's good to clarify the scope. Yeah, like, the PhD people do. Clarify the scope. Okay. I'm sorry. I can only reiterate. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. I can say. Okay. Anyway, all right. Dear. I admit it. Look, I was struggling the other day. There's this training site I can't mate. It seems queen against rook when it's against the computer. I can't make queen against knight even. I think I need to find the relevant stuff on wiki. You try it. You try it against computer. It's hard. Because I don't know. There's resources. Yeah, you wouldn't have imagined. Oh dear. Oh dear. Look, you try it yourself. You know where I'm coming from. If you try queen against rook against the computer, yeah. Forget bishop and knight against king. Well, I honestly, I wasn't lying about that. I once did it. I mean, that wasn't a lie, but it was with huge preparation. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the game, Tully. Yeah. Thanks for the game. Okay. Oh dear, I'm sorry, I can't get rook g7 out of my head now. Oh dear, I've just ruined my own stream. I can't get these images out of my head. Okay. Anyway, no. We're on to another game. Okay. Alright. Try Budapest Gambit. It's really a fun one. Sometimes. Oh dear. No, I did have a book on Budapest, and what I did is to use the third rank. You keep the third rank, Claire, believe it or not. I know it's a great positional idea to use the third rank for an h4 hack attack. You try and get rid of the defensive knight on f3. I know. It's it's fun if you can get it. I'm clearing up the third rank. You see this knight's leaving the third rank here. I've got the third rank free, you see. I just need to wait for white's castle now to pounce this magnificent maneuver on white. Unsuspecting rook a6 maneuver. It's in a book. I haven't made this up. I have not made this up. This is not improvised. This is actually, you know, I used to read opening books when I was a kid as well. Yeah, like, you know. I might have the Budapest book somewhere. I don't know. Okay. You might wonder why this is one of the ideas. I think it's because the defensive knight's been removed, so h2 is more sensitive. So if you get any pressure on h2, you're doing well, basically, because already the defensive knight's been removed. So we just play like rook h6, queen h4. If necessary, d6 and bishop h3. Dear, oh dear. Okay. Oh, this is a positional challenge now. Do I just sack the bishop to save a bit of time here or not? That's a good question. Could put the bishop on f8 or a7. Might be useful on a7 just in case there's an f4 later. And there's queen d5, maybe knight g6. Queen d5 could be a pain. Oh, he's going to play queen d5, isn't he? Knowing my luck, queen d5 will be played. Nope. Okay. Slide this one over. So I just want d6 and queen h4. And then my dream will be complete for the opening. My opening dream will be to sacrifice on h3 here. So queen h4, bishop takes h3. Thank you very much. Okay. So bishop takes h3 looks to be quite tasty coming up here. Isn't that? Okay, so I guess I need to work out how this mate happens, because h1 is protected. So queen h2, king f1. Then what? I think I can play rook f6 to start off with. Now if knight e4, queen h1, if the bishop moves, queen g, Well, depends where it moves. If bishop e5, I might even be able to play d takes. I could play rook takes. No, bishop e5, queen f2. Okay, how is the f2 thing addressed? How is the f2 thing addressed? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Fair enough. If I play g6, now if knight e4, that's a check, and I can pick up this bishop with check on that diagonal. I'll pick up this bishop with check. It's good to pick up pieces with check. It's something I've learned this year from Ivanchuk at the Rapid, World Rapid. He had some games where he was picking up pieces with check. Thanks to the game, Kaz, when he won that Rapid and then went to play checkers after. Okay, Don G. So knight ge7, knight d4, looks pretty classical so far, classic. Okay, so b5, bc looks like classic plan. Yeah, still looks like classic plan. I think d3 is winning a piece on bishop b2. Because if bishop takes, there's d takes. If queen takes, there's bishop takes. So it looks as though d3 is winning a piece. Bishop takes, d takes. Is it? Looks to be winning a piece. Lose pieces. Doesn't win a piece. Oh, my pets. Well, that was optimistic, to say the least. Okay, maybe I should have thought about that a bit more. Okay. What to do now? Try and protect that pawn with bishop f5 coming up. Or bishop a6. Oh, why did I miss knight c3? that was a resource. Knight c3, huh? Okay. There might be queen b6 and bishop a6 here. If he takes, well, he can't take back here because of that b2 bishop. But I'm wondering queen b6 and bishop a6 anyway. Skewer the queen and rook. How does this get refuted? Let's imagine knight a4, bishop c4, knight b6. It was still okay, surely, with the rook after. Let's imagine queen a4 then. I'll just take care, rook takes. What's cooking? Rook c8? Maybe? There's a nice pin on b2 still. There's Queen f2, that's good. Back row looks vulnerable. Bishop moves, bishop c3, rook c3, queen e1 mating. Queen a3. Looks awkward, queen a3. I think I'll still play bishop takes c3 on queen a3. If queen e7, bishop b2. Yeah, this e1 looks vulnerable. I've basically forked e1 and b2 here. Well, if I hit b2, I'm hitting c1. Thanks for the game, Don. Okay. Nomikos Spanos. Hello, Greece. Okay. There was once a really great British Greek player here called Agnos, who went back to Greece. He became a GM after a phenomenal player. Demetrius Agnos, absolutely phenomenal. I love the way he played. He played like a real hacker as well. He hacked up Kudrin, Lloyd's Bet Masters, White Side of Sicilian. Really great hack attack player, but also positional with it. Bishop f3, e4. Is a5 any good? If queen a7, bishop c7 to b6 looks peculiar. I suppose he just goes back to d8. If he goes back to d8, I don't think I've got much going on. I could try and make way for d5 later, but he could have a quick c5 here. If I play queen e2, a quick c5, I'm going to a5 there. Alright, I'll go with queen e2 then. Get ready for... Is he going to d3? This could be torture. Knight b4 to d3 could be torture. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering about a5 here, because this bishop's kind of... Is he going to a7? Might have... He's got bishop f3 on my queen anyway. So I don't think I'm getting anything here, basically, in a nutshell. I don't think I'm getting anything. Okay, I'll play for e4 anyway, just to... Oh, that drops the centre. Great. Maybe I get rook d1, d7 there, if he takes that. Maybe. If that does anything, that's a different matter. Possibly. Rook d1, queen moves somewhere, rook d7. Well, he's got there on f6. Alright. I can play d5 here because of that e7 bishop. I wonder if I can not lose a pawn here too quickly. Bishop c7 to b6 might be fun. Bishop d5, bishop b6. Well, it was fun. Now it's been taken away. Rook a1, or do I take on e6? Maybe I should just take on e6. Fractures the king side a bit. If I play rook a1, he just takes some rook e8. I think I need that fracturing to have something to play with. f2 is a bit weaker, though. Maybe king h1, unpinning. All looks grim actually. I'll just play anything. It looks grim over here. These two connected pass pawns. It looks grim. Can I play with queen h5 or f4? Both. Try and do something over here. Maybe f5 now. He's only got two around this king. Hang on. He takes. He's on my e4. One around his king. Queen h5, bishop h4, rook f3. Is he not exploiting the two connected passed pawns? f6. Rook f5, rook g5. There's bishop h4. f6, rook f5 to g5. I don't want the queens off. Alright, I'll play the check. If queen g7, I don't want the queens off. He's got the two connected pass pawns. Let's just let him move the rook. I'll play f6, rook f3 to g4, just in fact rook f3 maybe as well. Alright, while I've got the pawn there covering g6, I'll leave that there for rook g3. f6 was possible. Rook g3 looks dangerous. There's queen b7 here, trying to win the queen. There's no rook e7 if king f8. I could play rook g3 first. Then queen b7 is more effective, maybe. King f8. He's on this rook. Let's move this. Right, so the plan, queen b7, king f8. Well, there's queen e7 there. Alright, for the game, Nomikos. Fun one. I'm a bit wary about those slow defense players that collect the pawn and win with the pawn majority. It's a bit worrying, generally. But anyway, yeah, if we got the pass pawns going, I'll be dead. If he just got them going without any fractures on the king side, I guess the attacking player needs to reduce the number of defensive pawns and go for it, because there's a hanging pawn, not hanging. There's queen side's just winning for black. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So bishop g4, I castle. Bishop c5, and I play h5. Hang on, I think I know him from Hendon Chess Club. This guy, he's a Hendon Chess Club player. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he came and did the video for me for when I played Peter Lalich at London Classic, which actually got a lot more views than I imagined. He's a really nice guy. a bit too quick in his over the board chess. Is he going to let me hack him to death here if I play h4? That's the question. Hendon Chess Club filtered this team of GM and 2 IMs the other day. Hendon won. They got Jonathan Hawkins on their board 1, former British champion. I played on board 2 against IM Lauren da Costa. This was a few nights back. I got mashed. I'm preparing a video on it, but yeah, they beat us quite badly, 6.5, 1.5. They basically had a GM and 2 IMs at least. Bisbee was on board 3. He was held to a draw. But Hendon is a really massive chess club now because of the efforts of Adam Ralph, really getting a really strong presence in the Middlesex League. Yeah, very exciting club. Okay, so f5 d4. My bishop's going to be a prisoner. Should I just wait for that because e4's hanging here? f5 here, trying to weaken his light squares and use this form pawn. It's funny because even 20 hours before, I mean, you shouldn't really have any idea of who you're playing. I just didn't want to play. The last time I want to play in the world is Lauren da Costa. And lo and behold, I'm not only playing Lauren da Costa, I'm playing with black. This is the guy that mashed me in 20 moves in the London Classic. So I have to play Lauren da Costa. Yeah, I seriously, I mean, I've not usually had that experience where, like, you're not supposed to know who you're playing. It's an IM. It's on board 2. You know, you might think you're safe on board 2. Not if you're playing Hendon 1. Okay, so f6. Is that trapping the knights? What is he doing here? Can I not just win his knight? I lasted more than 20 moves. That was my goal. I think about 30 moves. Okay, so yeah, still got a form pawn. Okay, is d4 doing anything for him? I suppose it does. If I double, plays d4, smash through with something later if I double on the d file. Maybe knight d4. I just want to get to use this pawn here. Centre's pretty solid, actually. He's also waiting for queen g4, isn't he? To get rid of my wonderful pawn. I'll get this king out of the way. So bishop d4, if I want to get to g2, this is a route. Bishop d4, rook d4, rook e4 to get to g2. Yeah. Okay, he's pinning my c7 pawn. It's no significance at the moment, I think. b6. I don't need b6 just at the moment. Deflection tactic, rook d1 springs to mind. I'm just rook d1 here. It's not even a rook sack now. Rook d1. If queen f1. Well, it's putting him under pressure, rook d1. I guess he's going for rook b3, that's his idea, but I'm going to go quicker surely at the moment. I'm threatening queen e4. I'm still threatening takes queen e4, rook e4, rook d1, mating with the pawn pawn. Queen e4, just check. Takes rook d1, there's only queen f1. Cool. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Kishan. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, thanks, Kishan. All right, okay. GM. This is the first GM I played on Banter Blitz. Wow, a GM wants to crush me on stream. That's cool. I don't mind. Who is pawn holder anyway? I don't recognise him. Right, let's try this little plan of rook a2 to f2 if I get a chance, or f3. This is I've seen this in the game of Colin Crouch, rest in peace Colin Crouch, but he had this idea that you can transfer a rook to f2 in advance of bishop d3 knight e2. It's a cute idea. I mentioned it last night, and we had this social blitz, and I mentioned it. Let's give him that pawn, because otherwise I'll never get this plan in. Oh, I think my centre might be falling apart. This is not funny. I think I might have misplayed this already. Yeah, I think he's got a point. He can just kill my centre. Yeah, no, this is a bit stupid. Okay, I'm feeling this is a bit stupid. That funny feeling. Yeah, I was carried away with the concept, not the implementation. As you do sometimes. Okay, so my centre's gone. On the bright side, he might think I'm a complete and utter idiot and relax later. There's always a bright side to things. Okay, it's only blitz. He could make a mistake later or not. And he's got d3 winning a piece soon. That's not funny. Alright, I'll try and get this knight off this diagonal before d3 wins a piece. I'm preferring the check. At least I'm not losing a piece to d3. If I take on d7, f4, knight d3, f4, f5, at least justifies the glorious concept of the double rooks to a little extent. Bishop c1, I don't think it's doing anything. Is that queen d6? I don't think it's particularly doing anything. Although queen b3, if he castles, is bishop a3. I'm wondering, maybe it's worth playing like that to encourage him to castle queenside. So bishop c1, queen d6, queen b3. with the idea of bishop a3. That is a trump card in the position, dark square bishop here. Right, I'm trying to dissuade castling because of bishop a3. If you check, you know, queen e7 knight e5, if he plays here, well, you know, again, okay, I'm punting for bishop a3. Alright, I'm lasting more than 20 moves, it seems, if I can play another move. Okay, so bishop a3, queen d5, queen b4, maybe. If I play queen b4 here, there's no knight d3 yet. I get to play bishop a3. I'm cutting the king from castling. I've just blundered the bishop, haven't I? I get a mate threat in. Ah, oh, great. I've just blundered the bishop like a moron. Okay, so I'm only 2 pieces down against GM. It could be worse. It's only 2 pieces. Okay, so what do I need to do? Is king still in the center? Is that like, I wonder if there's rook c1 coming up, depending on what he does. I can hit this bishop, there's bishop b5, losing even more material. So maybe queen c7 looks good in relation to that. Alright, now rook c1. What killer move is there on rook c1? What's the idea? Oh, knight b4. He can't play knight b4, he lands the rook. I'm threatening rook c6 now for queen e7. There's almost a little trap with queen c8. If rook b2, queen c8, there's knight d8. If I take on b8, if he took with this one, rook c8 is mate. If he took with the other one, I'm just a queen down. If only I could weaken his back row a bit. Maybe rook b2. If rook b2, rook c6, threatening queen c8. Let's try this. Right. If I play rook c6 here, I'm threatening queen c8. If he plays rook b1, king f2, yeah, why not try rook c6 for queen c8? Then you just be expecting bishop b2. He might have rook g2. He might have rook b1, king f2. There's always bishop b2 after. You can castle though. King g3, queen g5 are getting mated. What about if I just go back to g1? Okay, so rook c6 looks, the most dangerous thing I can do is rook c6 for queen c8. He's got queen c6, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. Okay, that's the end of that. Yeah, thanks for the game. It was fine. Yeah, thanks for the game. Okay, where's the resign button? It's here, it's here. It was fun anyway, it was a bit of fun. Yeah, no, I need to avoid losing the centre pawns there. I think that'll be an improvement. Thanks, pawn holder. Yeah, definitely got my pawn holder, got my pawns. I think that's the problem with that game. Too early, too early. It's a great honour to play GM now on stream. Thanks, you know, it's a nice, thank you. I like to play some GMs on thing, even if they mash me. I did take a game off GM somewhere else on another stream on Friday, on 3 minute each though. I think the quicker the time, the more I got a chance. On Friday, yeah, that was a highlight for Friday for me. That was just 3 minute each though. That's more, as I say, towards bullet chess. It's okay. So rook c1, knight d5. So this is b3. I don't think it loses immediately. b3. So I'll play it. I'll just blunder the bishop. Okay, how long have we been playing? I think I'm melting down now tactically. What? I started a bit late. I started at 12:45. Okay, so we'll make it 2:45 to make it a 2-hour session. I think I'll end at 2:45 to make it a 2-hour session today. So it should be 1.5 hours, but because I started a bit late, I'll make it a 2-hour session. Okay, so can I get back in this game, or is it completely dead? That's an interesting challenge. Knight g4 is on the cards now. I guess I would have to take that then. I've set myself up also for king h7, bishop h6 here. Can I sneakily try and win his knight over here? Would he notice if I hit in the knight? It's probably a useful move anyway. He noticed. That's unfortunate. I'll go for this g6. Right. If I did this and double for fg, I'm just wondering if this would lead anywhere. I'm just getting in more trouble now with the h file. Doesn't look too good. I don't suppose there's any way out of this, or one. Don't think there's any way out of this one. This looks very, very passive as well. It looks too passive to do anything against rook h8, so it's not just being a piece down, it's looking so passive. There's no, I don't think there's any no, I don't think there's anything, but okay, let's start with that. Let's see, g3 coming up. At least I'm holding h2 laterally quite well. It's too passive still. What about c5? Hold on, c5 for d7, c5. Isn't there knight e6? He just blundered his queen to knight e6 tactic. Crikey. I think chess is a horrible game. We should all give it up because it's got too many resources in it. It's something which is good for computers, not for human beings. Chess as a game is good for computers, not for human beings. But it's endless entertainment as we blunder against each other, though, to last a lifetime. Okay, we can look at it like that. Blimey, I'm sorry. Okay, all I can say is I'm sorry. I was going to resign. I was thinking about resigning it. It's too cruel. It's just too cruel. I hate chess. It's too cruel. It's too cruel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Look. I did blunder. Funny enough, he returned the compliment. He blundered on g5 as well. I blundered on g5. He blundered on g5 later. There's an irony about it. There's a nice irony about it. This is my anti-London system line. I'm perfecting it. You don't block in the bishops because you want this move. My anti-London system line. Queen c1, right? And so g5, h5. Knight e4, bishop e4. I'm thinking h4, g4. Well, I can play knight g3. h4, g4, knight d2, bishop g6. You could try and break out with e4 to try and undermine c4. What about bishop h6, g4 for this diagonal? The queen there. Might be more interesting than usual to play like this. So e4 is probably dissuaded because of g4, that pin. If I castle an e5 with his king in the center, this will look good. Castle e5. E5 here. Let's raise the stakes for central tension. If he took, there's queen e3 anyway. I'll stop him castling here. This is a 3-minute game. Well, his king's in the center still. Queen d4, knight d4, that sort of thing. Well, it should be enough to cause big problems, this position, surely. Bishop e4 or rook f2. Rook f2 looks good. Bishop g7 or b5 first, but bishop g7. Ooh, checkmate. Thanks. Okay, MGTOW. Okay, is Mick ready? I'll try Trompowsky, bit of interest with Trompowsky. Okay, so, yeah, this one. Kozok, I don't know what it's called actually now. And I know it's like a stone wall with the bishop here, because in the stone wall you have the bishop here. I want to ignore that stuff. I don't want a pawn over there. I just want my I wanted to ignore it. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll get my rook f3 to g3 and he's going to take out the light square bishop. It's a standard procedure. It's like proceduralized, this system, to rook f3 and rook h3 or something like later. Do I take out that bishop or not? Bishop e7, queen h5. If knight f6, queen h4, there's a pin there. It might be worth sticking queen on h5 here. So knight f6, queen h4. Plan anyway, rook f3 to g3. He's going to take out my light square bishop. Sensible measure. Okay, this f file could be good for rook f6. He's got queen g5 though. That pawn could be weak. Alright. I think that pawn's weak. Somehow. If he plays queen g5. If he doesn't play queen g5, I'll play rook f1, rook f6. Oh no. Let's cause a panic with queen h6 to start off with. So this f6 has to be handled. Knight f3, f6, knight h4 threatens knight g6. Might dissuade f6. Let's play rook f1, knight g5 here for f7. Knight g5 is possible here. Tempo, king g8. Rook f1, if hg, rook h3. Is it worth playing knight g5 now with tempo? Maybe it's worth it. For rook f1. He plays f6. My knight's kind of misplaced, because before I would play knight h4. Maybe my knight is misplaced here. Maybe I go back, test this position, f6, knight h4, because there's a family fork. Knight's better placed than f3 here to handle f6. There's a check on f8 if he pins. I just take the check. I can still pin this f-pawn. Threaten mate with queen g4 here. Another way of playing it is just take the queens off, ef. If knight f6, e4 is not such a problem here with the pawn on d3. I could play rook c1 and rook c5. Yeah, I think I'll just get the queens off here, actually, and play on the c file, because that is a backward pawn there. Just swing the rooks to the queen side. Rook f2, rook c2. If knight e8, rook c5. If a4, rook b5. Kind of job done on the king side to get a small advantage for the endgame. Well, not small advantage. I mean, not usually a small advantage to exchange up. If I just get these guys over here. Knight g4, technical problem there. c5. If takes knight e5 on d3. Okay, something like that. Another pawn's biting the dust here. I think another pawn's biting the dust. Okay, knight g4 might be an issue. Just to keep the knight out of the game, maybe just h3, just to keep the knight out of the game. I suppose there's e4. And piercing through that e4 square. So if I took knight e4 or d takes, I don't think it's a big deal either way. I mean, knight g4 is not a big deal particularly. Probably not at all. Actually, e6, knight e3, e7, or even just e4. I think I'm just taking this pawn basically. Okay, let's just take this pawn. Play e4. Oh, thanks. All right, I think has that been 2 hours? Sorry, I have done this for 2 hours, right? It was 12:45. Can someone just confirm? I hope you liked the video. If you liked the session, yeah, I played an extra half an hour than I should really, like scheduled. It's been 2 hours, right? By my calculations. Please tell me. Someone confirm. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly, though. But I think I should really. 12:13, 1:45, 1:45. It's been 2 hours, I think. Okay. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. I hope it was fun. Fun anyway. It wasn't sound. Okay. See you guys next week. Comments, questions, likes, appreciate it on YouTube. Thanks very much.